Hello, hello. Wait, is it working? Am I live? I better be. Otherwise, this is really awkward. Hello, hello. Oh, I am very live. I need to turn my own stream off. This is embarrassing. Let me just at my Discord. Hello, hello. How are we doing today? What's up? Yo, I'm so excited today. This is my biggest stream yet. So today's gonna be a little different than our regular Pokemon Fusion streams because we are not playing Pokemon Fusion, but we're still fusing Pokemon. Don't worry. I just have something extra special. Some extra special plan. Now, you may wonder what I mean by that, because how could you have Pokemon Fusions without playing Pokemon Infinite Fusions? And let me answer that real fast. So, about a month ago, I started getting a lot of traction on YouTube, mostly because of Pokemon Fusions. And I ended up getting this thing called cash. Now, I work a full-time job, so I don't necessarily need the extra income, so I thought, why not give back to the community that helped me get this? So I reached out to the organizers of the Pokemon Infinite Fusion Discord, and we worked together to put on a little contest. That being the Moopsten Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Fusion Contest. The rules were simple. They were simple. The artists and spriters that work on Pokemon Infinite Fusions are free to participate, as well as any of my community. To submit, all you have to do is fuse one Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Pokemon with one Pokemon from Gens 1 through 8, pre-Scarlet and Violet. Each artist was allowed up to 5 entries. These could be illustrations. These could be... Yes, it's the Google Slide default. Okay, I wasn't gonna design a whole template for this. They could be anything from illustrations to sprites to 3D models, as long as they didn't steal someone's art. Those were the only rules. The prize pool was $75 for first, $50 for second, and $25 for third, but we got so many entries that we increased it. So now there will be 3 third place winners, technically 3rd through 5th. So today on stream, I will be giving out $200 to the entries. The other $200 will be divvied up by the Pokemon Fusion community, who will be doing a community vote on which sprites and designs they thought were the best. I've already decided. I'll tell you all right now. Holy fucking shit. Like, I'm gonna try not to swear too much, but the amount of talent in this contest was fucking nuts. Like, I expected some good designs, because, you know, a lot of the people who entered this contest work on the Infinite Fusion game, so I figured, yeah, of course they're gonna be good, but fuck, are some of these good? And just for scale, if you're wondering about the numbers, we had 150 designs entered. And of the 107 new Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, 62 of them were used in this contest, which is a huge variety of Pokemon that I didn't expect. Like, I expected a couple. I expected, like, everyone was gonna fuse the same sort of, like, 10 or 15. But 62 different Scarlet and Violet fusions. Not to mention, we have the data. I tallied all of this myself, of which generations the other side of the fusions came from. So we have a huge variety in designs today. Yes, I am going to review and show every single one on stream today. Now, if you're also curious, these were the most commonly fused Pokemon. Here, let me move myself. Oh. Give me a sec. There we go. Cerulege had 14 fusions, Meowscarada had 11, and Gardevoir had 9. Honestly, I think the most common fusion was Gardevoir Meowscarada. I think there's like 3 or 4 of those, but there's also 3 or 4 Gardevoir and Ceruleges as well. Without further ado, should we get to the contest? Should we start looking? Because I'm excited. Let's start this off. I'm going through all 150, technically 149. We kicked one person out for stealing art. Let's start it out. I have the list of every fusion, and I will include the credit for each art submission because credit is really important for art. We know this. The first entry is by Ace of Spades. Now, this looks a bit plain at first, but this is a Dunsparce. They had to make this sprite themselves, and it's fused with Mega Pinsir. I didn't think anyone would use Pinsir in a fusion, but if you're gonna do one, this is pretty damn cool. We also have Angel Kitsune, and okay, this is important. I cannot stress the importance that the first Meowscarada fusion is not furry bait. This is Meowscarada and Liepard. Which, 1, great idea. 2, thank you for not doing furry bait. I'll tell you straight up, there's gonna be furry bait later on. I'm glad the very first Meowscarada one was not. Just, I am thankful for that. Not that I got anything against furry bait, but you know, we gotta set a standard. Angel Kitsune also submitted 3. This is Braxcalibur and Mega Tyranitar, which is sick. Look at this. Oh my god. Braxcalibur was a Pokemon I had no idea going into Scarlet and Violet, but the whole Shin Godzilla look, I mean, this is just awesome. But that's not my favorite Angel Kitsune one, because they also submitted this. Scorbunny and Tinkaton. And this is gorgeous, because there's so many layers to this design. They clearly took inspiration from the legend of the Japanese myth of the rabbit on the moon, because they turned the hammer into a mochi hammer, and they have the little moon symbol here. It's adorable. This is crazy. This is a fusion I never would have thought of. So your idea and concept, 10 out of 10. Destroyed by Proxy went for Cerulege and Charmander. Now, I love this one because I expected Cerulege to be mixed with a lot of humanoid fusions, right? So to just go like, no, Charmander, it's adorable, it's great. You also submitted Meowscarada and Delphox, which is a slam dunk. This is a great sprite. It fits, I feel like this one really fits like the Gen 4 aesthetic. Can you guys see that? I love it. Arena. This is another one that I adore. So this is Skeledurg and Gardevoir. So if you don't know, Skeledurg, the full evolution of Fuecoco, has a sugar skull on its head, which is a sign of Dios de los Muertos. I butchered the pronunciation. So they took that Latin inspiration and made a traditional Latin dress for Gardevoir. I think this one is gorgeous. And not to mention, it's so fluid in motion. Arena submitted 5 of them. They also submitted this Samurott and Koraidon. Yes, all of these are in alphabetical order by the person who submitted. This one I love. I'm just biased because I love Koraidon's like very traditional look. Like very tribal. Arena, though, is particularly talented. Not only did they submit sprite work, but they also submitted illustrations, such as this Annihilate and Lopunny. like, I expected everyone to either do sprite work or illustrations, but there were a lot of people who did both, which is unfair talent-wise, I think. I think you have to save some for the rest of us. This is crazy. But look at this. Look at this, Cerulege and Arcanine. I think you just made Zacian. I think in a backwards way, you just made Zacian. Look at this. This is sick. And Meowscarada and Primarina. I think this has a ton of personality. I adore these. Oh my gosh. I think all of arenas are so expressive, and that's what I love. Azure Hasio, another Meowscarada Gardevoir. I think this might be the first Meowscarada Gardevoir. But I like what you went with because it doesn't really look like either. You made your own design inspired by the two of them, and I think that's awesome. Mewtwo Cerulege. I think this is one of our only Mewtwo's, and it looks so good. I think you did really well with your use of black outlines to really highlight how cool the armor is, and it keeps from the pixel art from getting like very messy, you know? Blaquaza, Koraidon, and Lugia. This is a great one. This is great. Is this Koraidon? I think this... No, this is Skeledirge. What am I thinking? This is Skeledirge and Lugia. Dude, they're so good. You can tell a lot of these people have worked on Infinite Fusion just from how good their sprite work is. King Gambit and Haxorus. I feel like people sleep on King Gambit, but King Gambit is one of the coolest new generation Pokemon. I didn't even know we needed a Bisharp evolution, but to mix it with Haxorus, it's so cool. Blaziken and Quaxly's final Evo. I'm still not positive how to do it. But look at this. Look at this. Dude, they're so talented. It's crazy. This is just a start. Remember, we have 150 entries to look through, and they're all high level. Do you guys understand how difficult it was to come up with a top 5? I was literally here for like, looking through this slideshow for 8 hours, trying to figure out who I was gonna pick. It was nuts. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this one, the MS Paint one. So all of these were submitted by the same person. You have Skeledirge Lugia, King Gambit Haxorus, Blaziken Quaxquavel, and then Annihilate Duskull. And this one caught me so off guard in the best way possible. Captain Cooties, an illustration. The fact that you didn't outline this at all, and it just looks like you went in raw with colors. Armorage and Genesect? This is sick. Look at like the color mixing for the flames in the back here. That's so cool. Gimmighoul and Mimikyu? Adorable. I like how it's holding the little coin there. Gimmighoul and Muck. Oh, wait, I didn't see this before. There's a little Gimmighoul in Muck's mouth. Oh, that's so good. I didn't see that before. I really like that. Scorvillion and Hydreigon. Yo, concept-wise, this one is so sick. It's so good. It's so good. Craze Banana. What is this? Grafify and Flygon. I can never remember Grafify's name. It's such a good design. You did so well with this one. Everything from like, look at its little hands. You can see the one blue finger used for painting. They're so fire here. Crumbs. This one was good enough. This is the one I used for the thumbnail for this video. Gardevoir Cerulege. Now you're gonna see with Crumb's other designs, but the thing I love about their sprite work, you can look. Here's another Meowscarada Gardevoir, and Iron Valiant Lucario, none of their sprite work is like too complicated. It's not over-designed, which I think a lot of, like, it's easy to fall into over-designing pixel art, but each of these sprites is so simple, but so clean and well executed. Look at these. All three of them, so good. Crystalline Jade, this is one of the cutest. Seal and Graveyard? Graveyard, is it? This is adorable. This is cute. What can I say? This is cute. The talent in this competition is top fucking tier. Derp King Zero? I thought this was crazy because not a surprising amount of people did Dodrio fusions, but I didn't see any other with Farigiraf. I think this is really cute. Drawd 15. Okay, Drawd 15 submitted 3. And I looked at this and I wasn't positive because I'm like, this isn't a fusion. This Gimme Ghoul just stole Meowth's head. And then you submitted this one. And I'm like, who the hell was gonna make a Veluza fusion? Veluza's the most forgettable Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. Let's be real here, right? But Veluza and Rayquaza? That's sick. That's sick. And then I saw their next one. Look at this. Look at this! My jaw fucking dropped. My jaw fucking dropped. How do you think of this? How do you think of this concept? It's so good. And it's animated? You realize the prize was $75. The most money you can get from this contest is $75 from my end. What the fuck are you doing, Drawd? I saw you in the chat. I know you're here. You went fucking ham. Y'all are nuts. Crazy. Amesis, Quacksquivel, and Milotic. Right? This is Milotic. I have my list. I have my list. Everyone submitted what they were. Yeah, Quacksquivel and Milotic. This one is great, and you also submitted another, which was Meowscarada and Vaporeon. I see you. I see you trying to pander towards me. It might be working. But you know what? I will say it's hilarious that you drew these two in almost the exact same pose. Which I think is funny. Gauge Theory. Now, I really like these. These feel like if I bought an indie game, these would be like some of the coolest characters and sprite work for it. I thought this was the most stylized sprite work. This doesn't look like Pokemon, but if I could see this in any sort of indie game, like Shovel Knight or Celeste, I thought these were super cool. Gandalf Monkey, you submitted a lot of them. And you saved me the trouble because you told me what each of them were. We got Tinkaton and Wobbuffet, which is adorable. It looks like a Wynot holding the big Wobbuffet bat, and you even put... Wait, I just realized Wobbuffet's tail is the little head. That's so good. Baxcabrion? That's another one that's sick as all hell. Also, Meowscarada, Volcarona, and Magmortar Armorage? Top tier Pokemon choices. And also, Totodile Fuecoco. And they included a little message, so I blew it up here so everyone can see. They couldn't post a shiny version and worry of disqualification. You wouldn't have been, but it's okay because after the competition, they're gonna post all their fusion and the shiny on their Twitter and Instagram. So go follow them at Gandalf Monkey and Gandalf Monkey the Artist. So there's your plug. You drew cool art for my stream, so I plug you. This seems fair. Genki! I like Whale Lord, and I really like Cetitan, and I love this. Because I think in lore, Cetitans and Cetados are whalemers that just climbed up onto land. I don't know if you knew that, but I thought this was a sick fusion. You also did Miraidon and Toxicroak, and it turned out so well. See, this is how I know I'm not an artist type, because I don't look at Miraidon and see making the whole, like, effect into Toxicroak's big bulbous, like, bulby thing. Clearly, I'm not a wordsmith either, but what I'm trying to say is your things are gorgeous. Same with your Grimmsnarl Tangrowth. No, wait, this isn't Tangrowth. What's the name of this Pokemon? I can never remember. What's the name of Glamora? Thank you. These are great. Dude, all of these are good. All of these are good. Yo, we're not even a third of the way through the entries. We haven't even seen a third of them. It's so good. Ghoulpen hitting us with Screamtail and Gardevoir. Screamtail is one of my favorite Paradox Pokemon, but I might just be biased because I really like Jigglypuff. So I love this. Gardevoir is also one of my favorite Pokemon. I will say though, you messed up. Gardevoir doesn't have feet, she just has nubs. Not that I look at Gardevoir's feet or anything regularly. Green! Hitting us with a Slam Dunk, Politoed, and Bellybolt. Look at him! He's just a happy little guy! I'm loving him. This is another one that I adore. Paldean Wooper and Rotom Wash. I'm not sure why, but this fits together so well, and making his mouth the lid to the washing machine is so good. It's so good. It's so good. And then Rowlet. Oh, dude, what's the name of this one? What's the name of this one? Tadbolt. Dude, I didn't expect this one, but I'm so happy now that I see it. This is the shiny Rowlet we deserved, if we're being real. Hoodie Lad, Froakie, and my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon, Fido. I love to see it. You put Fido in something, you get extra points from me. I'm the judge, that's my ruling. Hurden, not only giving us a Meowscarada Gardevoir, but giving us a shiny variant as well? Say less. Say less. They look great. Jammo, Cetitan, and Decidueye. I don't know how you think of this combo. I don't know. But it's so good. The framework is nutty. The framework is crazy. And what am I talking? The framework? The sprite work. And it's so dynamic too. You can see he's like landing. Because I think a lot of you forget. I think a lot of people aren't realizing there's no sprites for Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. There's not even good PNG images of them. So all of these are being made from scratch by people, which is nuts. All of these they're making themselves. Look at this. It's the middle Knackle evolution. What's his name? It is Knacklestack. Golem and Knacklestack. I think this one turned out really well. This reminds me of when you go hiking and you see people have made the trail markers out of stones. It's sick. Jaders, Mawile and Screamtail. This one is adorable as well. There were a lot of Mawile fusions this time around. Like a surprisingly large amount. And this one looks great as well. Jaders, Iron Bundle, I don't even like Iron Bundle or Dodrio, but this one is so good. I love that all three faces are a different expression, and that you have the bundle as the tail. And I'm just now seeing its legs are like skis. That's so good. Holy crap. I think they put that this is Cyclizar and Blaziken. Dude, we got talented fucking people in this contest. It's nuts. I thought I'd have an easier time. It was not. It was not easy. I mean, just look at this. I've got a soft spot towards Blaziken, and Jader's, the execution on this is so well done. This one makes me smile every time. This one makes me smile every time. This is Toadstool and Machop. It's so good. It's so good. This is such a good sprite. And then, of course, Bellyboat's been hit in the gym. Look at him. This is terrifying. How did this turn out to be the most terrifying sprite? I love it. Dude, he's ready. He's coming for you. Okay, I told you guys that Fido was my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon. That's true. But I really love the entire Smoliv line. And I'm not just being like down bad here. But this is gorgeous. Like, this is one of the like most cleanest, cutest sprites in this con. Like, it's just so well done. Just a Husk, you killed it. And you also made others. I can't believe, I don't even like low kicks. But you made this look so good. Low kicks and Chandelure. These are nuts. And also you make a sprite move, and how could I not award extra points for that? Also, Gigalith and Garganacl. This one I think turned out so well. Turned out so great. Half of this stream is me just bragging about, like, look at all the cool sprites the community made. Aren't these awesome? Okay. Okay. We all knew that someone was gonna do Aegislash fusions with Armorage and Ceruledge. But holy shit, do these look good. Are these clean as all hell or what? And I give you props because it's so easy to just build off the humanoid forms of Armorage or Ceruledge, and you said no. I'm sticking with the Aegislash form as the base. And props to you, it turned out so much cooler than it would have otherwise, I think. These are gorgeous. Those are gorgeous. Okay, this one I kept looking at. I stared at for a long time. This is Wugtrio and Torterra. So you can see there are a ton of little Wugtrios coming out of his body, because instead of the rock that they all live in, it's just a big Torterra. I think this is a 10 out of 10 concept. This concept was so good. This concept was so good. Holy... Chien Pao and Rayquaza. I think the legendary Pokemon of this gen have one of the most unique aesthetics that legendary Pokemon have ever had. But I don't think a lot of them look that great. But when you apply that legendary design to other Pokemon like Rayquaza, it looks so good. And look, there's even like a sword in his back. It's so nice. It's so nice. Here, I need water. And then another Decidueye, and I think you specified this is Smoliv. He's just a little olive archer. It's so good. It's so good. Without a doubt. Dude, I'm so happy When I was going through this contest, all I could think is, I only paid $400 in a prize pool for this. I only put up $400 and that gets me shit like this? It's nuts! Knuckles, hitting us with the evolutionary line. Toadstool and Toadscruel and Shroomish and Breloom. You hit us with both, and I love that you did that, Knuckles. They turned out great. Lava Tyrant YT, look up their YouTube channel. If you make me cool art, I plug you. Annihilate and Gengar. This fits because isn't Annihilate just a dead Primeape who got so angry he died? I think that's how it goes. And then Tinkaton and a Alolan Marowak. Dude, people love Tinkaton. I think there's like 7 or 8 Tinkaton fusions and all of them are great. This one included. Alolan Marowak is I would argue one of the best designs of Gen 7. And instead of a hammer, I like that it's a scythe. I think that's fun. And this one took me a bit. Because I forgot this Pokemon was in the game. This is Grimmsnarl and Rabsca, the Dung Beetle, the Psychic Dung Beetle. That's his big ball. It took me a bit to figure out what it is, but it's so good. Legendary Master, Garchomp and Garganacl, Crocodile Skeledirge. I'm surprised you're the only person that did Skeledirge with another crocodile Pokemon. Hell yeah, points to you for that. And I think you're the only one that used Garganacl as a base and added a different color scheme onto it. I think that's really cool. Lenka hitting us with some artistic masterpieces. I'm glad my boy Frigabax is getting the recognition he deserves. Frigabax Mimikyu here is cute as all hell. Look at the little buttons for eyes. And Vulpix and Fido. I told you, I'm a sucker for Fido. You put Fido in something, I'm happy. But he's baking himself. His little tails are buns that are on fire and baking himself. It's so good. Luca LBDP22, Chen Pao, and Weavile. This one is cool. I like how you gave him the one big sword fang. It's cool as shit. But you also did others. Scovillian Mawile? This is probably one of the... It's just so good. It's so good. I want to see what you see, because I wouldn't have come up with this in a million years, but the minute you see it, it clicks in your brain. You're like, that makes so much sense. It's nuts. And it's so angry looking back at us. Usually Mawile is like pretty cheerful. Lucia Violet, I love how you fused the same 2 Pokemon, but you did it 2 different ways. With Pawmot and Gallade, 2 different ways. It's great. I love the concept here. Maten, Cerulege, and Shiftry. Dude, this one is so like action oriented. He's like jumping down at you. It's sick. Melmetal Melts, you have several. Snordo and Coriskull, both of these turned out really well, in my opinion. Like, look at this. I love that it's just like a bone motorcycle. This is a Ghost Rider shit. This is Ghost Rider's signature Pokemon, actually. And you also have Annihilable, which is Annihilate and Clefable. And I actually really like this one. I think this one, the more I look at it, the better I like it. And Grafify and Houndoom. Look at the paint dripping off of his tail. These are so good. And surprisingly, you're one of the few people who used Lucario. Cerulege and Lucario I thought would be an obvious one. Because when I announced this contest, there's a couple ones that I thought, oh, people are gonna do this, it's gonna be obvious. But no, you killed it with this, holy crap. Melmo, we have a couple Photoshop designs. We have Reshiram with Koraidon, Zekrom with Miraidon. You have fused Mega Scizor and Armorage. Oh, no, wait. You have parts of Mega Scizor on both of these. So it's Mega Scizor with both Armorage and Ceruledge. And then you have it with Charcadet in the middle. Top tier Photoshop designs. Milotic, Skeledurg, and Trevenant. And he even has the little ghost birdie. It's so good. Yo, there's so many talented people in this contest. What the fuck? It's so good. I don't know why, because the entire thing is good, but the little bird is the highlight for me. And I'm sorry, because it looks like he spent so much time on this. Like, to make Black Fire look that good takes a lot of talent. But all I see is the bird, and it's so good. Minced Grass. This is top tier. Slitherwing and Zorark. Like, look at all the eyes. It fits so well. I just keep staring at it, and there's more that I love. But you actually did a lot of great designs too, so let's take a look at some of the others. Koraidon and Primal Groudon is out of this fucking world. Look at that. It's so cool. You made all of, like, you made him less colorful for the better, almost. Because you made it look like a dry desert to fit in with Groudon's ground type. It's so good. And then Miraidon with Haxorus. Oh, wait, there's a little heart here. Dude, doing this contest was one of the best ideas I ever did. Like, look at these. I'm beginning to realize it's not that I like Koraidon more than Miraidon. I think Miraidon has a better, like, color scheme almost. I just don't like it on the lizard design. When you put Miraidon's, like, effects and color scheme on other Pokemon, it makes them look so good. And also, Arboleva and Roserade. Top tier again. Top tier again. I should do more contests? I definitely should. Ceruledge and Darkrai. Now, this is a pretty simple concept, but what you've done with it is so good. The way you blended the colors at the tips of the swords into the fire, and how you mix that fire with Darkrai's natural, like, black and red color scheme, it's so impressive that you just, using the blue as highlights, added so much to this design. This is so good. Now I have to choose the winners? Dude, I know. I'm gonna struggle. Mochi. Now, of all the pixel designs, I think you might have one of the most stylized types of pixel design. Like, these almost feel like an RPG enemy, you know. I mean, I guess they're all Pokemon, they're all RPG enemies. But I see these in something like Dragon Quest. How Alolan Raichu and Pomo and Armorage and Rapidash. The white background also adds a lot to these, but it's so nice and pleasant to the eyes. It almost looks like a storybook design. Really good, Mochi. Nespida. Mawile and Farigiraf. I never would have thought of that. And the animation for this one is so good. Is there a link to the artist to see their works? Unfortunately, unless they specifically gave me a link, I don't have it. If any of the artists are in the chat right now, if you message me on Discord, I usually don't look at my direct messages, not from friends, but I'll look at them all throughout this week. Message me if you want to plug your Twitter or whatever, and I will compile a big list of them to put in the description of both this stream VOD and the video that'll come out from this. Because I am full on with supporting all of you talented artists, because holy crap. Also, not only you have another one. Florgato and Decidueye. This one is so good. All of these are so fucking good. I could watch this one move for hours. Hours, I say. Not only did you have amazing sprite art, but look at the illustrations they made. Midnight Lycanroc with a great tusk and Iron Wings and Lunala. Just, I'm at a loss for words for how fucking talented you are. Nespita, you can't listen? I'm saying you're really fucking talented and you're not allowed to be good at pixel art and illustrations. Save some fucking talent for the rest of us. Like, what's with that? How can you be this good of an animator, sprite artist, and illustrator? I'm not even good at fucking YouTube! Nibby Nibby, Zorark and Armorage is a great idea and concept, and I really love how this turned out. The only, like, constructive criticism I'd say is it's a very weird angle to have it be just facing forward. Novecientos I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. I love this Photoshop. Ceruledge and Bisharp, slam dunk concept idea. Good job. I always forget this one's here, and it always makes me giggle. Tinkaton and Diglett, but its hammer is just 2 Diglets. Its hammer is just 2 Diglets. How can you not love that? How can you not love this? How can you not love this? This is so good. Annihilate and Dodrio. We got a lot of Dodrios. This is our 3rd one, and there are only 3, so, you know, having 3 Dodrios is kind of fitting. This one is so good. Oh my god, I'm just now noticing. Are 2 of the heads dead? Wait, 2 of the heads are dead. That's so cool. Oh my god. That's so good. I wanted to write that, but oh, I'm so sorry, Nespita. I don't check my... Did you send it to me over Discord? Or I don't check my DMs that often. We'll get in touch. We'll figure it out. Sorry about that. Pocky for the win. Now see, this is what I talk about when I don't understand how artists think. Never in a million years when I was running this contest did I think any artist out there would be like, wanna know who we need to fuse together? Aegislash and Smoliv. Like, who thinks about that? And not to mention, it turned out so well. I love this, like, rough sketch line art. It adds so much personality to this. Not to mention, Smoliv has little nub feet, and that's top tier. Punko! Shroodle and Rattata. I mean, it's cute. It's cute. What can I say? It's adorable. Red Squids. This is probably, like, the most morbid one we have, and we have some actual, like, ghost Pokemon on here. To have a Wiglet be coming out of a dead Geodude's head? Red Squids, are you okay? Like, are you good? If you need help, like, let me know. Like, this is gorgeous. I love it, but, like, holy crap, that's morbid. And another one. This one made me giggle a lot. Fusing Wiglet and Diglett is so fucking funny. So say, thank you for making this. I needed it. Sissy Princess Brianna. Yo, we got some Garbodor love in here. I'll say it. I am a Garbodor defender. I am a Gardevoir defender. And you know what? I like Espathra's design too. And the dumb, like, side eye it's looking like it's surprised. We caught it off guard. Is so good. Daichi, I'm very quick that I didn't notice that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's okay, I'll probably hold another contest eventually. But you also have Knackle and Dwebble. This one turned out so well. It kind of looks like a Minecraft mob, doesn't it? Like if they ever added hermit crabs to Minecraft, this is sort of what I think it would look like. It's great. But I think this one, you knocked it out of the park. Bramble growth? Well, is that what it is? Bramble Ghast. Bramble Ghast and Chandelure. This one is so sick. And I love that you can see through its head to the others. It's such a good design. It's such a good design. Holy shit. Sissy Princess Brianna, you knocked it out of the park with these. Oh, Spranglish Comics. So this is Suicune. It's Quaxcool and Suicune, which I love. But, and I'm not just simping for Lopunny. This Tinkaton Lopunny, I am in love with the concept here. Because you, like, leaned into the Magical Girl Sailor Moon stuff. I love that its hammer is a Lopunny and all the hearts. I love, like, the knee-high boots. This one is so good. It's so good. The concept for this one was top tier. And I say that a lot, but Spranglish Comics, this might be one of my favorite concepts in the contest. Stardust. I always forget that Poipole is a Pokemon. I always forget it's a Pokemon, but I love this fusion you did with Tadbolt. I love it. These things are great. Okay. Doesn't this look like... Wanna know what this one looks like to me? Not only is it all sorts of adorable Swadloon. Mew and Tatsugiri. It feels like I can see it now. I close my eyes. I'm walking around my local anime convention, or maybe even San Francisco, Japantown. And what's that? There's an artist alley. I'm looking around. I'm browsing. Oh, body pillows. Oh, a booth that's entirely Genshin Impact for some reason. And then I make eye contact with this as a sticker on your wall, and I fall in love with it. And I fall in love with it. It's so good. And not only that, they also provided Mewtwo and... What's the dolphin's name? Palafin. Dude, look. Everything from the water coming out of the blowhole, it makes it look like Mewtwo Y. With the... It has two tails. Everything about this is so well thought out. It's so good. And then not to mention, like, they're two very different art styles. I love almost like the really thick cell shaded lines you have on this one for Slitherwings and Scolipede. They're so good. They're so good. Bramblin and Tangrowth. I said this about a couple of the ones earlier, but it's one of those concepts that when someone says you should fuse these two Pokemon together, it clicks in your head and you're like, of course they should. That makes so much sense, but Swadloon, you were the only one to think of it, and you executed it so well. So well. All my love to you. Not to mention, this one looks so ominous with the one eye. It's so good. Slitherworm, not Slitherwings. Thank you. And Swadloon even made this animated Tinkaton and Sandslash, which is just adorable. It's just adorable. Like, what more do you say about it? It's adorable. Here, give me a second. I'm gonna time someone out because they keep spamming. Sylveon Girl! You did a lot of fusions, and I think they came out really well. Gardevoir and Ceruledge? Nice and simple, but very cleanly executed. And Zoro a Fido? That's unfair. It's so cute. Look at him. Just makes me smile. You also did Miraidon and Salamence. I think this one looks great. But I think this is your best one. I think Farigiraf Mimikyu is so well executed here. Where it's just Farigiraf, but it's wearing Mimikyu's clothes? Are you kidding me? It looks like it's just wearing a Kigurumi. It's so well done. This one's so cute. You also did Dragonair and Koraidon, which I think is well executed and well made, but so cruel to the Dragonair. Why are you gonna give him legs but no arms? Sylveon girl, why? Why? Why must you curse this Dragonair to live a walkless but armless life? TOS. Dude, Knackle and Golurk. Look at this. This one looks sick. This is just one of those ones that it's a very simple concept, but it's so well done. This looks like a transformer. This reminds me of like, as a kid, when you get a bunch of Amazon boxes and you sort of turn yourself into a giant robot. It's so good. Big ol' salt golem. You also included some others. Not only is it Quillfish and Tadbolt, but you have made the one true pooper. People have made the pooper joke a lot, but this is him. This is the actual pooper. You've done it. And look, he's cute. I like to think he just drew on a six-pack for himself. Very adorable. I love him. Tens! Tens, tens, tens. Okay, what is this one? I'm trying to remember. I have my list. Because I love this. Espathra and Leavening. I always forget Espathra's name. I thought this was one of the coolest concepts because I love when people do Pokemon that no one else decided to fuse. And like, Espathra, I think a lot of people think is ugly. I think you are going to convince them otherwise because of how well you used its color scheme. The color scheme for this one is top tier. But not only are you good at sprite art, but you're gonna go around and throw this illustration in our face. Look at the shading on this. Claydol and Tinglu. This one is so good. This one was so good. This feels like something I would find on Artbreeder and look at the artist with envy over. This one was so well designed. Like, I don't even like Claydol. You're making me like Claydol. It's nuts. It's nuts. Y'all are crazy. The Maniac. So I've complimented some other designs on being really good because they're simple. Yours has so many loose pixels and it only adds to it. And that's so difficult to do. If you can't tell, this is Ceruledge and Blaziken. Mega Blaziken. Which is where you have all these wisps of fire coming off of. It looks so good. So good. You also included Decidueye Skeledirge. Dude, I'm happy that Skeledirge got so much love in this contest. This Skeledirge is like my favorite of the 3 starters. If you were here for my Scarlet Violet playthrough, you'll remember Gibby. And this one looks so good with the flaming arrow and everything. And you even included elements because he's the flaming bird now. So it looks great. But the Maniac, this is by far my favorite one of your designs. Turning Mega Sceptile's tail into a Christmas tree because of Iron Bundle is so fucking good. So great. I could stare at this one for hours with a smile on my face. And even the small details, like the frost on the leaves, I'm speechless for it. It's so good. Hey, Luis Espar Mauricio, thank you for the $1. But none of this art belongs to me. It belongs to the artist. The Mew 108. Okay, I'm glad someone used Cosmog. I'm a sucker for all things space. And Meowscarada is awesome, but adding the space texture from Cosmog just makes me happy. It's just mwah, mwah. This looks great, Mew. Toad 900. So I didn't know what people would be submitting for this contest. I didn't know what Pokemon they would want to include, right? I didn't think anyone would use Simisear. I didn't think anyone would use Simisear or Grafify. Well, I thought people might use Grafify, but you made me like Simisear. And Toad 900, I don't know how that makes me feel. I hate Simisear. It's one of my least favorite Pokemon. This looks so good. And even the small details of giving it the one big finger, like Grafify has. You paid a lot of attention for that. So I really like this one. But Sliggoo and Tinkertuff, how could you not like this? How could you not like this? Wait, is this a Hisuian Sliggoo? Yeah, because it has the snail shell. This one is really cute. I love this one. It's hard for me not to like the Tinkaton line and anyone that incorporates them, because this just looks great. And then you gave the Mouse House the what is it called? What is it called? The Mice and Doug Trio. You even included. It's just good. Like, I'm so happy. I've got the biggest, dumbest smile on my face. And I'm just happy with all of these. Tomate. Okay, I don't think I've ever said this out loud. But not... Here, wait. Give me a second. Sorry about that. My chat went away for a second. Okay. I don't think I've ever said this, but Eldegoss is another one of my favorite Pokemon. And Tomate, Eldegoss, and Arboliva, it looks so good. It looks so good. Look at this. And then you fix something that I think is a huge missed opportunity in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You gave Iron Wings, Iron Moth, the Volcarona from the future, a pre-evolution by mixing it with a Larvesta. Thank you for doing the Pokemon Company's work, because this should have been a thing. Of all the Pokemon in this competition, this is the one that just should exist. And they look great. The more I look at the Eldegoss Arboliva one, the more I think, like, that's just a Pokemon. Like, if this thing pops up in Gen 5, that just looks right. It looks correct. You emulated the Gen 5 aesthetic so well. And neither of these Pokemon have a sprite, so that's crazy. Weirdo. Another Gardevoir Meowscarada. This one, great. And what a nice background for it, too. Holy crap. And you got the little nubs on the feet right. Props to you. Wendy. We've seen a lot of illustrations today. These have probably the most defined style of all of them. These have style. And it's very clear that you have a lot of experience with this, is everything from the shading on each of these. Like, Gardevoir and Gallade and Ceruledge and Armorage, we all knew it was coming. These were the fusions I was the most confident about. But the execution here is so fucking well done. Like, making it into a dress is so good. This is so good. Wenzi. How are you the only Gyarados fusion? Gyarados and Miraidon. How are you the only Gyarados fusion in this entire competition? But if there had to be one, I'm glad they knocked it out of the park. Props. This looks great. And I look at... This almost looks like its own Pokemon, which is pretty sick. Okay, Xenophacalus. Outside of having a really hard name, I almost disqualified this because it's a triple fusion. So this is Dusclops and Tinkaton, but instead of a hammer, you gave it a Scyther Scythe, which I think is really cool. I think that's really cool. And I don't know if I would have, like, kept it in, but your other four are also really fucking good, and I couldn't resist not showing this. King Gambit Shiftry? This one looks so good. This is some ancient Oda Nobunaga stuff. What do this is just Pokemon Conquest. This is a Pokemon Conquest monster. This is a Pokemon Conquest warlord you've brought to me here today. And it looks fire. So, I've included their Sprigatito Badoo. Also, this is the only Sprigatito in the competition somehow. But not only did they knock it out of the park with Sprigatito Badoo, but they did an entire evolutionary line. Because they also have Florgato, Meowscarada, and Roselia and Roserade. Like, you made an entire evolutionary line here. All three. 3 for 3. It's so good. It's so good. I'm so happy. You killed it with the concept here. Not just concept, but going through with all three of them. I admire the dedication. XXX Dietaub? Another Pokemon I constantly forget it exists. So much so, I have to look to the side to remember that it's called Balafone. Balafone and Grafify. This is good. What can I say? I think this might be one of the creepiest ones. If I woke up at the dead of night and I saw this at the foot of my bed, I think I'm just having a heart attack. I don't know if you intended for this to be as terrifying as it is, but the extra long noodle limbs are so scary. And our final two entries are from Toasted Goose. Palmy and Minccino and Fido and Jigglypuff. These are so fucking cute. These are so cute. Look at this. Look at these. They're moving too. I want this as like a plushie. And he even has his little yeast breath. Like, the attention to detail and passion and love you all put into these is so clear. But unfortunately, there can only be 5 winners. And so last night I went through them all. And I chose my 5 winners. And it wasn't easy. Because I was literally like, I made this slideshow. And then I literally spent 4 hours going back and forth, switching out my Pokemon. Because, truly, it was difficult. It was really hard. You guys saw the level of talent. Now, I say 5 winners. Originally, there were only supposed to be 3. Originally, there were only supposed to be 3 winners. I was planning on, if we got enough entries, increasing the prize pool and increasing the money. Like first, second, third, it's all more money now. But because of how many quality entries we got, I instead decided to have 3 third-place winners. And it was still really difficult to choose. So here's what I'll say. There were so many amazing entries. I am positive that every single person right now has a different top 5. And as much as I wish that I could give you all money, I also need to pay rent. I'll probably have another fusion contest because honestly, the level of creativity in this one was nuts. It was nuts. Here, what's a good music? I need a good song for the podium. But yeah, so all I ask is that you respect my decision. Is everyone is going to have a different top 5, right? I'm sure you all have your own favorites as well. But without further ado, my top 5, starting off, not top 5, with the first one tied for 3rd place. It's an early one. I don't think I really like this one. Arena, you knocked it out of the park. And I gave extra points for concept for this one. I'm not just simping for Gardevoir, but fusing Skeletor with a Pokemon is one thing. But you went above and beyond because you went to the inspiration of Skeletor, which was the Sugar Skull, and adding a traditional Latin American dress to Gardevoir, the color scheme and the motion of this was nuts. So I award you so many points. I think you had one of the best concepts in this competition, combined with the execution. I gotta love it. Speaking of amazing concepts, another early one was Angel Kitsune. The minute I noticed that you turned the hammer into a mochi hammer, and that this was inspired by the Japanese myth of the rabbit on the moon and mochi festivals and doing all that, how could I not award that? This, I think, was the cutest of all the designs. I think this one killed it. Everything from concept to execution. This feels like a sticker I would buy and put on my water bottle and PC and everything. So props to you, Angel Kitsune. I think those were the two of the best concepts. Also, Nispita, I know you're in chat. I know you're in chat. All 4 of your entries were killer, and I knew, as soon as I saw all 4 of them, I knew one of you was gonna win. I knew one of yours was gonna win, so I chose my favorite one of yours. Mawile and Farigiraf, and the animation for this is so fucking clean. Is so clean. It's so good. I just say that. So I will be reaching to all 3 of you 3rd place winners. I'll to give you your money over Venmo or PayPal or whatever works best for you. Now, number 2. So I do want to preface something with number 2. So with number 2, I graded each entry individually. I graded each entry individually so that people who entered 5 pieces of work or groups, like some of the evolutionary lines we see, wouldn't have an advantage over people who just submitted 1. I have 2 entries by the same person for number 2 because either of them I think would have won. Either of these 2 would have won. Not that they're saying they're getting double the prize money, but for 2nd place, I have Wendy. Because Wendy, I think of all the illustrations, has the most stylized ones. And I could not decide between which of Gardevoir Armorage or Gallade Ceruledge I liked more. So Wendy, you're getting 2nd place. Because Holy shit, I love your art style so much. I mean, it's just good. The shading you did and everything. Is it unexpected? I thought this one was this was one of my favorites. Now, I think this one might be my favorite, but it's not the winner. Because sometimes I have a favorite, but there's one that is a level above, in a league of its own. Because there was one entry in this competition that was actually entered very early on. And I kind of knew it was gonna win ever since I saw it. But I kept an open mind. But after going through all 150 entries, drawed 15, this one, holy shit, is inspired. This is something that no matter how many years in a cave you make, I would never think of this. I don't think anyone is going to complain that this is the winner. And I see you're in the chat too. Congratulations. The minute I saw this, I knew it was the winner. I lack the imagination to think of this. But I don't even like Omastar. I don't even like Kev of Room. But this is so good. I stared at this for 15 minutes with my jaw on the goddamn ground. Because it was amazing. I'll be reaching out to you to get you your money. This is Omastar and Kev of Room. I don't even know how you think of this. But I'm so impressed with you. I'm so impressed with you. You saw the wheels on Kev of Room and thought of the Helix shell? Who sees that? How do you see that? That's insane. That's insane. Props to you. This is so good. And the animation, it's so animated as well. But thank you to everyone who entered the contest. I'm sorry not everyone could win. There were a lot of ones that were so close. There were a lot of them that were really close. Some of my other favorites, Xenophalicus, I love your Shift Tree, King Gambit. That one was really good. Toad 900, I really loved this one. Tomate, I love this one. This one was up there for a bit. If I had to choose a 6th place, it might be this sprite. Because the Maniac, you killed it with this one. This is another one of my favorites. I guess I'm doing honorable mentions right now. 10s. The shading on this one was out of this world. If I did a separate bracket for illustrations, this would be on the podium without a doubt. This is also one of the ones I considered for one of the 3rd places. This Mew and Tatsugiri was so good. Another one, like I said, this was definitely one I considered. This is another one of my favorites. I still think, I've talked a lot about concepts, and I think the best concept was the Omastar car, and this other second and third best concepts were the 3rd placers. This might be the 4th best concept. And this one just missed out, I think. But there was so much fucking talent in this contest. This one is so morbid. I love it. I love it. There's so many good ones. There's so many good ones. Like, Nispita, you have too much talent. Like, all 4 of yours could have been one of the 3rd placers, so I just chose the one I liked the most, which was this one. Minced grass. Minced grass, I wish you could have won too, but I only had so much money to give away, I'm sorry. But this was my favorite of yours. This one was really close. all of these Melmetal Melts were great as well. I'm trying to think of, like, okay, just what were my favorites. This one! I loved this one. Oh my god. This is one of my favorite sprites. It's so good. It's so good. I love the little flexing toadstool. They're so great. Okay. I gotta end stream. Gauge Theory. I love these. I love your sprite style. And I stand by. I think you have one of the most defined sprite styles in this contest. I love that you didn't make them look like Pokemon. You made them look like something that you can make. And that they look like these are in an indie game or something. They look so good. Of course, our first place winner. Crumbs, like I said, you have probably the cleanest sprite style in this contest. So good. So good. And of course, back to the beginning, Blaquaza. I was really tempted with this one. With the Skeletor Glugia, really tempted. This one, I like this one, but I think you really leaned into the Masquerade one. So good. Arena, I really struggled because I loved both of yours. I love the Skeletor Gardevoir, and I love the Ceruledge Arcanine. Both of these were great. Annoyed by Proxy, Killer, and Angel Kitsune, all of yours were great as well. But yeah. I'm definitely going to have to do another contest eventually. Just because of the level of talent here was so fucking good. It was so good. I mean, like, holy shit. I'll make this slideshow public eventually. When I'm gonna put up a video about the contest. And when I do, I'm gonna make this entire slideshow public. So all of you are gonna be able to see and look at these designs. It was nuts, right? Holy shit. When's the next contest? I'll let you all know. But I'm so happy with how this turned out. Congrats to everyone. I truly loved every entry, and thank you all for entering the contest. Like, you made this possible, and it's so great. And if you didn't win today, it's still possible you might, because remember, the Pokemon Infinite Fusion community is also going to be voting on their favorites, and everyone's going to have different favorites. But thank you all for entering. Thank you all for supporting me. You all make events like this possible by supporting me, and I'm glad I can give back. So, see you all later. Have a nice rest of y'all's day. Okay, stream's over. Stream's over. You guys can go now. You guys can go now. The competition was really cool, and I'm gonna get in touch with the winners to make sure they get their money. Okay. When's my next Pokemon Fusion stream? Monday. It seems like Nightbot's going nuts. I'll try to calm it down.